Pushed all the buttons. Yay. Hi, girls. It worked.
How are you?
I'm terrific. How good to see you
Oh
both.
my gosh. I just feel horrible that it's taken us so long to get all this done.
Are you kidding? You should not feel horrible. I feel honored, and anytime you want to do it is good with me.
Oh, well,
We are spread a little thin.
I don't know how you do it. I'm just starting, and I don't even want to go there, actually.
it's been a little overwhelming lately. But
I mean, it's, too much of a good thing, I guess. Success, huh?
well,
Yeah, who's going to complain? We're not complaining.
Because, I mean, I look, and you guys have pages and pages of people.
we're now over 1,300, but
They're not all. That's not all.
they're not all
They're not all subscribers. They're members. They're all different levels. I get it.
1,300 members on the site. Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed it.
And a lot of work.
It's so much hard work.
It
I
is.
find it hard to watch the 4 videos a month. I don't know how you make 4. I haven't watched them all. I confess. I won't do that this won't go on, right? We're not.
We are recording.
But we wonder that too. In fact, this last one, when she did a figure, there were people who said, well, I don't want to do a figure one, and canceled. And we're like, oh my gosh, there's so many to continue doing. If you don't want to do the figure, don't do the figure. There's a million of them out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I was excited to do the figures because A, Elizabeth does beautiful figures.
Yes.
And B, it's something I've been really wanting to push myself to try.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's scary.
It looks really hard.
And it's really scary to do it if you go somewhere and you're doing it in front of people. But from the safety of your own home, it's easier. It's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we should start out, because this is being recorded.
Oh, it's not being recorded yet, is it?
Yeah, it is. It's recording.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, I hope it wasn't a dork.
No. In fact, we can edit and
Anyway, we want everyone to get to know you. Everybody, this is Allison Armstrong, and she has been a member. Has it been since the beginning?
Since the beginning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I've known Allison for, I don't know, 5-6 years, longer.
I think around 14 or 15, I think was the first workshop.
Okay. I first met Allison and her lovely sister, mom, and aunt. They took my workshop in Scottsdale.
They're wonderful.
Fabulous family. In fact, your mom is just wonderful.
Yeah.
Just love your mom.
Yeah, well, she started it all. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they dragged you out to Scottsdale, and because you live in California.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you guys all came to our gallery in Utah.
We came to Ogden for the wonderful double workshop with both of you.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'd do that again any day. And I loved Ogden.
I know.
We do too.
Yeah.
We love Ogden.
Yeah. Although right now it's probably pretty cold.
Not as cold as Texas.
Yeah, it's a lot warmer than like most of the places in the country right now.
Yeah, but we have gotten quite a bit of snow lately, which is good because we are below snowpack this time of year. But
Yeah.
we're welcoming the snow. Anyway, Allison,
What brought you to painting, and how long have you been at it, and how much time do you spend doing it?
Okay. Well, I may talk a lot, so stop me.
Okay. We like to hear that.
So it started with my mom, since you mentioned my mom. She started painting a number of years ago, and then my daughter was in high school taking art classes, and she said, can we go visit Grandma for spring break and paint together with Grandma? And I'm like, sure. So we went, and it got kind of boring for me because I wasn't into art at the time. And so I said, well, just give me a little canvas and I'll play around over here. So every year for about 4 or 5 years, at spring break, we'd go visit Grandma and I'd paint one painting once a year. And then my birthday in, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14, she said, you know, I think you could be good. I'm giving you art supplies for your birthday. And so she gave me my easel and she gave me a bunch of paint and some brushes and she got me started. So I painted a little bit, and then we plotted our trip to Scottsdale together, and that did it. After that, I hooked, totally hooked.
It's an addiction, isn't it?
It's the best addiction on the planet because it's so good for you. It's I like to tell people it's meditative. I'm happier now that I paint, lighter.
Yeah.
I just love losing myself in it. So
you're fully present. That's the best part. Is you're just
one of the rare times in your day.
Yes.
I want to say you look beautiful, Allison.
Yeah, you do. You look
guys, you're sweet. Thank you.
So how much?
I put lipstick on.
Yeah, I didn't.
No, I never do. So how much time every week do you spend painting?
I try to make it a habit to paint every afternoon. It doesn't happen every day, as I'm sure you girls understand. But I try to get stuff done in the morning and then sit down and paint in the afternoon for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours. It's kind of funny because my son has started to cook dinner because he comes down, he looks around, he says, nothing's happening while I'm sitting over there painting. If I want to eat, I got to make this. So he now cooks for me a lot.
Very good. Training him.
Yeah, so that was the side benefit.
That's a good thing.
And so I've been painting about 5 or 6 years, and I love it.
Well, your dedication to it shows in your work too. Yeah, you have.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was the thing you really realize. That's the other thing. It's like I say, I don't have a deep background in art at all. I was an accounting major, So, but what I've really come to learn is that it's just like everything in life. It's practice, practice, practice.
Practice.
Yeah. You can't say I'm not artistic because that's what I used to say. And everybody's got a little bit of artist in them, and if you develop it,
yes,
you're gonna get better.
Yeah, you just have to love it.
Yeah,
you have to love it enough to give that time to it.
To give the time to it, right. Yeah.
Tell us what you have on your easel behind you.
Yeah, let's hear.
Oh, well, this is okay. So this is fun. I do this thing. I do little studies. So beautiful. I do these little guys, and then I try to make it. So that's lilacs. I belong to a reference photo, a free library of reference photos. And so I go on sometimes to find things because I can't grow lilacs. So I found this, and Liz has had a great lesson on lilacs. Yeah. So can I just say anything purple and green? I just love to paint purple and green.
That's a great color combination.
That is a good.
Yeah. I love it. So yeah, the hydrangeas back there, that was my fall purple and green from my yard. Those are from my yard.
Nice.
So I don't have the garden that you do, but
very few like do. Very few of us do.
It's another addiction. Yeah, I got my David Austin Rose catalog last week, and I'm thumbing it through it and everything, and I'm writing down all the new ones that I want, and then I realized, I already have about 6 new roses coming. I better not order anymore, but I can't help myself.
I cut a few trees down in my backyard, and I'm wondering if maybe there might be enough sunshine for a rose back there. So
I think roses grow really well in California. From what
I have a lot of shade. I have a lot of trees, so they need sun.
Yeah, a little bit. They need some.
Yeah, hydrangeas grow great in my yard, though.
Yeah. Now see, and I have a couple of hydrangeas, and they'll do okay, but they don't do great.
So are flowers your favorite thing to paint? Is that your favorite genre?
Yeah. And I like still life, but the flowers are just. Still life's almost it's getting a little easier now, so the flowers are far more challenging, so I kind of like that.
Yeah.
And there's the combination because I usually do it in with a vase, obviously together, so it's both. When I really want to kind of sometimes if I haven't painted for a while, I get scared. So I'll paint fruit or something because it's a little easier. So sometimes I have to sneak up on it, you know?
Yeah. You've been doing some fun little like Hershey Kisses and things like that lately. Where did that come from?
I was sitting here one day thinking about, well, thinking about painting, and I just suddenly had that idea of like, what would be really fun for Valentine's Day? I painted a little heart and it turned out stupid, and I was trying to pull it out of my head. And so, which, as we all know, you need a reference.
Yeah.
So I jumped in my car, zoomed down to the drugstore on the corner, and grabbed some kisses and sweetheart, little hearts, conversation hearts, and came home. And you can see my little setup back there; it's still set up.
Yeah,
little teeny tiny. I had to take pictures and blow it up, but they turned out so fun, and I was like a fiend. I painted 8 of them. I was addicted. I had so much fun with it.
that's fun to do a different subject like that. And the color of the backgrounds I thought were really fun. That bright pink that you have. You're selling in a gallery now, aren't you? Or you have your work somewhere?
I am. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Gallery. Okay. And if they ever watch this, they'll shoot me. But it's a co-op. It's not a fancy gallery, but it's a very nice place to show art. I have to work a couple days a week. You guys probably, I don't know, maybe you started out that way. I'm assuming you may have.
We have one in Ogden. We didn't start out that way, but there's a good one in Ogden. There was one in Bountiful at one time. There's some nice ones, and it's a good way to get going. It's a good way to get your work up there.
It's a nice way to meet other artists and have a community of artists. I really have liked that. I did join one. So I joined one. I didn't really want to. I didn't think I was ready. And I joined one last year in March. And then guess what? COVID.
Yes.
So the funny thing was that gallery ended up closing and 2 new ones opened, kind of 2 groups of people split off, and I'm in both now.
Yay!
So I'm actually in 2.
Very good.
So
that's awesome.
That's been
to talk to people too, and to learn how to talk to people about your art. It's a really great way of kind of figuring out who you are, explaining to somebody who you are and why you do what you do.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just fun to talk about art. That's the other funny thing about becoming an artist is all of a sudden you need new friends because you need art friends, people who actually want to talk about art all the time.
Yes.
Because you get kind of weird about it. It's like, well, don't you want to talk about art?
Not very many people do.
Why not?
That's what we say. We can talk art 24/7 and never get tired of it. But.
I know. You need a whole new set of friends. You need art friends. So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's been
awesome.
quite a journey, but it's a lot of work, and that's what I'm learning about what you guys are doing. There's a lot behind the scenes. You've got to have inventories, and you've got to think about pricing, and you've got to be a good photographer, and it's huge.
It is.
It's a lot.
It's not just painting at the easel.
If only it were just that easy, that it was just painting at the easel, but it isn't. There's a lot involved. You're a small business owner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot of organizational skills and which is great because it's all learning and new stuff, and I keep saying it's really good for my aging brain to be doing all this stuff. So
yeah.
It would be interesting to do a study of how many artists actually get dementia or Alzheimer's. I would think it's pretty low because we're constantly thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, it would depend on how much toxins they use
true.
in their painting, though.
That's probably true.
The other interesting thing is I've learned that, and you've probably said this too, but it kind of, until you actually learn it for yourself, you don't really learn it, about when you paint, it's hundreds of little decisions. It's just hundreds and hundreds of little decisions.
Mental gymnastics.
It is, and it really keeps you. That's what probably keeps you so engaged.
It's all problem solving. Make one mark and then solve the problem, and then make one mark and solve the problem.
No,
it's taxing on the brain.
It is.
So what are your future goals with your art? Where would you like to be in a year or 5 years?
I'm really happy where I am right now.
Good.
So I think I'm not a very good goal setter, I guess, but I really love what's going on right now. Just more of the same. One of my things is to try to say yes to things. If something comes up, don't say, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that." Just say yes.
Yes.
So with that underlying principle, I'm hopeful that more things will come along to say yes to.
Oh, one foot in front of the other, and it just happens.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
We talk all the time about, the universe. If you tell the universe you're open to new opportunities, then the universe provides you with opportunities. So
It's amazing how that happens. So yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So.
And it couldn't be a better world for it. I mean, the art world, the people in the art world, the whole art world is pretty cool. Beautiful people.
Yeah.
We like that.
Interesting people.
Is there any artist, dead or alive, that has really had a strong influence on your work, and why?
Well, first of all, of course, I have to say my mother.
Yes.
Because, everybody should always their mother. But and I have to tell you a funny thing. My mom and I paint by FaceTime sometimes.
Oh, that's
I
wonderful.
love that.
So we get on and I'll be like, "Okay, Mom, here's what I'm working on." And she'll say, "Well, maybe you need to do this, or have you considered trying that?" And then she'll show me what she's working on. And I get to do the same for her now because I am getting good enough that I can help other people, which is cool.
Yes.
And so we paint by FaceTime, which
I
is
love
really
that.
fun. And then Elizabeth and Shauna are probably second.
We'll
take
you.
You guys have been a big influence. So the instruction, the care. Liz, I imagine you remember a particular night when we were chatting and you really said, yes, you're an artist, say it. And you made me say, I'm an artist. And just that encouragement was so meaningful to me. Giving me permission to say it, to say I'm an artist.
I can remember in Scottsdale seeing you, and I think maybe it was the second or third time that you came, or maybe it was just the second, and seeing how much talent that you had, and also seeing that you didn't believe it, and you just had to believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I still am not sure I believe it, but I'm trying to embrace it.
And sometimes that doesn't change either.
Yeah.
That self-doubt doesn't ever go away.
We do that all the time.
Yeah.
I just say, I don't even know, I should need to go out and get a job. I don't know why I think I can paint. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. After 30 years, like anybody's going to hire us.
Yeah.
So as far as other artists, Monet.
Yeah.
It's so cliche, but
have you been to
light and color,
Have you been to Giverny, to his house in the gardens?
Oh,
I went years ago. Yeah, actually last summer a friend had found out that you could go paint in the garden. And
I did. I went and
Yeah,
painted in the
so
gardens.
did I.
Oh, it was wonderful.
yeah.
and we had planned to do that last summer in COVID, but I don't know if the opportunity will come up again, but you never know. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
They have stopped letting people come in to paint. Because
That's what I had heard.
there
Yeah.
were so many people coming in, and the list was so long for people that they finally kind of put an end to that. But
Oh, that's too bad.
I'm glad I got to do it too.
Yeah, me too.
That
Me
was
too.
heavenly.
Yeah.
After I became a huge fan of Monet. I mean, his paintings, I would look at them and go, yeah, okay, they're nice. And then when I went to the gardens and you see it and you experience that energy, then I went, oh, okay. Now I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also really appreciate your art lessons because I hear about people I've not heard of before. So
Art history lessons.
your art history lessons have been really great. To meet new artists. It's been great.
Yeah.
So
Are there one or two things that have really helped your progress? Like something that you learned or a particular workshop or even an aha moment, something that really was that switch for you where all of a sudden you're like, I am doing this?
I don't know. I still feel it's painting by painting still.
Yeah.
I'll paint one and I'll be like, oh man, that one, it painted itself.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've had those where you just like, oh my gosh, it painted itself. I love it. It's wonderful. And then the next one, you're like, this one has to go in the trash.
You have to work so hard at it.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not sure that I think of painting as like going for that hole in one. Every time you sit down, it's like a golfer wanting a hole in one, right?
Yeah.
And you're just not going to get it every time, but it's always the goal that's out there, and it's what drives you to keep going. So
Shanna always says that those moments when you step back and you feel like the painting painted itself, or maybe you were channeling somebody, they were painting, that's the universe giving you a little bit of a glimpse of what you're capable of.
Yeah, where you're headed, and then you got to go back and work for it.
Yeah, and then they take you back. Well, that's what what's the word?
This is your possibilities.
Yeah. I went brain dead.
Now get back and go to work.
Yeah.
Don't get too big for your
what
britches.
you're capable of,
Yeah.
but you have work to do to get there.
Oh, those are beautiful moments when they happen, though, when
They
one
are.
of them just paints itself and you just stand back and go, wow, that came from me.
Yeah. It doesn't happen often enough, but it happens just enough that you have to keep painting because it feels so good when you do.
Yeah.
That's what makes it addictive, I think.
Oh, that satisfaction of creating is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's enough to keep us fighting through the hard times. Do you have a favorite painting that you've ever done?
Yeah, I do.
Tell us about that.
It was of just a little glass I got it from someone else. I didn't take the photo, unfortunately. It was just like a little glass of peonies set on a windowsill. That's the one that painted itself. That was so, and I just love it. It takes my breath away when I see it. I'm like, did you really paint that? I mean, I'll never sell that painting. I love it.
You kept it. Very good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very
You'll
good.
have to send us an image of that one so we can put it on the blog.
Yeah, do. So
Okay.
I
I find that, and I don't know, I'd like to know from you, when you first paint something, sometimes are you really in love with it? And then as time goes along, you're in love with it.
I get a crush.
Shanna gets a crush.
And it goes one of two ways. I have a crush on something and the crush lasts for a week or two, and then I start picking at it. Or I don't really like it and it starts growing on me. One or the other. And sometimes when I get that crush, I am not necessarily seeing it objectively.
Oh.
That thrill when you have that crush is just like when you have your first crush on a guy. I mean, you just want to keep looking at it and going back to it, and yeah.
Like, did I really do that?
Yeah. It's wonderful. Till you pick it apart, then it's not so wonderful anymore.
Oh yeah, I'll paint a painting, I'll step back and go, wow, that's really good. And then about 10 minutes later, I go, oh, that's crap. I got to work on that one.
I've been wanting to ask you, so sometimes I varnish things and then I really want to go back and is it too late to go back and paint something once you've varnished it? Because sometimes you see it and you go, oh, ew.
You have to take the varnish off.
Yeah, you take the varnish off and then use a little bit of retouch and it'll freshen it back up and you'll be ready to go again.
That's one reason why I like the Grombacher picture varnish or the Gamvar, because they're light varnishes and they're easily removable.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Good. Yeah. I keep telling myself, don't go back, go forward.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy going back to an old painting and doing a search and destroy because I learn so much that maybe if I had a fresh canvas, I wouldn't dare extend myself that far.
Yeah, a little bit more courage just to say I can do a bunch of stuff. Try experiment with this painting.
Yeah.
But
Okay, that's good. That's good for food for thought. Thanks. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for people who are starting out and starting to like it?
Oh, just
besides join
keep going.
paint.
Take a workshop from Elizabeth, or you didn't pay me to say that. Just try to do a little bit every day, because I really think that does help.
Yeah.
To the practice thing, and it there's a joy in it eventually, you start out playing scales and it's a little hard, but then it gets better. It really does. So stick with it, I guess, and yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah, that's great. When you fall in love with it, you kind of don't have much of a choice. It just keeps screaming at you to come back and come back and come back and come back. So,
was there anything else you want to share with us about who you are and your art?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just having a great time with it. It's been, it's so funny. You see those movies on TV and stuff where somebody has like a second life later in life, and you think, yeah, that never happens. I think I found mine. I think it does happen. It's just kind of an amazing thing to end one part of my life and then find there's a whole new life out there for me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. A life of being a creator.
Yeah.
It's been amazing. And I'm just so grateful to have found this, something that I think will take a number of years, right up until I'm gone, I think. So
we love to see that. That's the most exciting thing of doing what we're doing, is seeing that in someone else, seeing someone else fall in love with it the way we love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so grateful that you're part of it and that we found each other.
Yes, me too.
I love you and your family. They're wonderful.
Thank you. They I love you guys too. I mean, and it's fun that we share that together, that we get to share that family time with you. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's really special.
Yeah.
That is really special.
Did you have any other questions?
I think I've covered, I have my little list, and I think I've got my list covered, if you can think of anything.
Well, we're so happy that you agreed to be our member spotlight for this month, and
make sure to send us some images so we can put the images with this, and one of you in your studio, so everybody gets to see your studio.
And I want a picture of you and your mom and Whitney and Aunt Val, so we can share that as well. In fact, I think we probably have pictures of
do from the workshop.
That
we have workshop pictures, but we also paint together in the summer, as we've told you. And we forgot last summer to do it, but we usually take pictures. Sometimes we all paint the same thing and then we hold it up.
Great! I love that.
So, anyway.
Well, Allison, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and
thanks.
Your beautiful paintings and beautiful face and beautiful energy. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're pleased, and we're really happy to show everybody your work.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you take care and happy painting.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Inspired to paint. I'm inspired to paint.
Yay! Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.